സോ നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം, ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ 2-3 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ പ്രിലിംസ് ആണ്, ജൂൺ 5th. സോ പ്രിലിംസ് ഈ അടുത്ത് വന്നിരിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമുക്കറിയാം കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷത്തെ കട്ട് ഓഫ് മാർക്കൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ കണ്ടു. 87 മാർക്കാണ് നമുക്ക് ജനറൽ സ്റ്റഡീസിനാകെ വന്ന കട്ട് ഓഫ്. OBCക്ക് വരുമ്പോഴേക്ക് 84 വരും. സോ നമ്മൾ പെർസെൻറ്റേജ് വൈസ് നോക്കുവാണെങ്കിൽ 40% മാർക്ക് മാത്രമാണ് UPSC നമ്മളിന്ന് ഡിമാൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ 40% മാർക്ക് ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് 200 നമുക്ക് ശരിക്കും UPSC പോസിബിൾ ആണ്. നിങ്ങൾ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അറിയാം, 2-3 മാർക്കിനാണ് നമ്മൾ ഓരോ വർഷവും എക്സാമിൽ നിന്ന് ഔട്ട് ആവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഔട്ട് ആവുന്നത്. അത് ആ ഒരു 2-3 മാർക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഡിഫറൻസ് വരുത്തുന്നത് പറയുന്നത് ഇതൊരു നോളജ് ഗെയിം അല്ല അല്ലേ, ഇതൊരു ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നോളജിന്റെ ബേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നിൽക്കുന്ന ഒരു എക്സാമിനേഷൻ അല്ല. ഇറ്റ്സ് ഓൾ അബൌട്ട് യുവർ ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ്. നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെയാണോ ആ എക്സാമിനെ നിങ്ങളുടെ ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ഫേസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, സോ ആ ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡിന്റെ രീതിയിലിരിക്കും നിങ്ങളെ എക്സാമിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം നിങ്ങളെ എക്സാമിന്റെ മാർക്കും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഡിപ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കും. സോ ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്ന സെഷനിൽ നമ്മളെ കൂടെ ഉള്ളത് സൂരജ് ബെൻ ആണ്. സൂരജ് ബെൻ ഈസ് വൺ ഓഫ് മൈ ഫ്രണ്ട് ഓൾസോ. സോ സൂരജ് ബെന്നിനെ പറ്റി ഒരു English. Okay. So Sooraj Ben പറ്റി, I'll give you a short introduction about Sooraj Ben. So he's actually cleared UPSC in 2018 with a rank of 321. So after that, like 2020, he has also cleared forest service examination with flying colors of rank 1. So and that's his third attempt actually. So from the first attempt itself, like in the first attempt itself, he went till interview. Second attempt, he got 321 rank in UPSC civil service examination, and 2020 he got first rank in forest service. So all these years he cleared prelims with a very high margins. So when I used to ask Sooraj about that, he always says that it's all about the attitude. It's not only about the information, it's how you see. He also taught me, or he also told me some secret about what he used to do in during a prelims examination. So I just want him to convey all those tricks and all those what he used to do in those means during prelims examination to you also. So I'm not wasting your time, so I'll just invite Sooraj Ben to take the session. So Sooraj Ben, I hand over to you. Thank you. സുരജ് പറയുന്ന കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല.
ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കാവോ?
ഇപ്പൊ കേൾക്കാം.
Okay, and the headset and the issue. Sorry. Hi Basil. Hi everyone. So there are people who doesn't know Malayalam, so I'll stick to English. So basically, to take a class on prelims is a kind of a very difficult thing, because especially you guys are very close to prelims. Just a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days to prelims. And as someone who has written, basically I did 4 attempts. 4 prelims I've written. The 4th time I didn't write the mains. I just came for the FC, and I'm right now in my academy, in the Forest Academy, and doing my training. So as someone who has written 4 prelims, I know the kind of pressure at this point of time. Especially, I don't think the kind of pressure you face in prelims you face anywhere else. The sheer scope of the exam, around 5 lakh people writing this exam, and the number coming down to 10,000, 12,000 is a huge thing when you think about it. Basil is a very good friend. Basil and I was preparing together in Bangalore for a while. We actually prepared together for 1 mains together, and Civils360, I'm taking a class for Civils360 for the first time. Like many of my friends are a part of 360 till now. So I would like to welcome you all in here. So I'll talk for like around 20-25 minutes. I haven't seen how much I want to talk. So I'll try to end what I want to say in like 30 minutes, and then we'll open the floor for some questions. So I think that'll benefit everyone better. All right. So basically, see, in prelims, I'll start from where Basil left. 87 point something as a cutoff is not just a random marks that came up this year. You should see the marks coming down from the last many years. Okay, I think in 2016 and 17 the marks were more than 110. then it came down to in the hundreds, then it came to 98, now it has come to 87. Which means that actually these days, if you count in absolute terms, if you have around 44 questions right, as a general category candidate, you can clear it as long as you didn't make any mistake. But that won't happen, right? I mean, that's a very rare thing to happen. And in my entire preparation phase, I've seen very few people who doesn't have a lot of negatives. Like there was one friend of mine who used to write only 60 questions. He'll get 55 right. So there were people like that, but it is very difficult for normal people like you and me to do that and get into the list. So we'll talk about a few things that we should focus on. I'll talk about general things, very general things which you all know, but are very important and we might forget in the last moment, and we might make mistakes. I'll talk about a few ideas of elimination, but then again, whatever I'm saying is not a hard and fast rule. UPSC is always capable of doing a double number on us, doing better than us, all of us. So some things may work out for you, some things may not work out for you, and use these the so-called techniques only if it is a last resort. Okay, and without wasting much time, I'll start. So see, the first and foremost thing in any prelims examination, as compared to mains, is that it's a stress management. See, you all have prepared, you all know a lot of things, but at the same time, UPSC asks you random shit. Okay, and UPSC doesn't restrict themselves to any of these current affairs magazines or capsules. Any of those capsules you read, UPSC is not going to stick to that. UPSC is going to ask very random things. And when we were preparing back in 17-18 exams, these random things were lesser. And we used to get a lot of questions from these booklets and all. But these days, what I found is that the last prelims also I wrote. And what I found is that this is totally random. And so what can help you over there is your wits and your confidence of what you have done so far. See, you guys are all capable of getting through this exam. You guys have been all working for this exam. And till now, you have put in effort. On the day, on the 5th, when you go to the exam hall, on that Sunday, when you go to the exam hall, go with the confidence that you can clear it. Okay. Don't go with a worry. 2 days back, one of my very close friends, she is still writing, and she texted me saying that when the results came and the key from the last prelims exam came out, she was like, I was expecting, when I checked other keys, I found marks to be around 90s, and I thought maybe I missed out by 1 mark. But now when I'm checking the UPSC key, I got only 79. My confidence is gone. She was worrying about all those things. So the only thing I want to tell you is that those who are not writing this exam for the first time, especially those so-called veterans, is that leave your past attempts behind. Okay, each attempt is a new one. Each exam is a new one. It doesn't help you that, it may actually help you that you have experience in some ways, but it doesn't hurt you that, the last time you did bad. You had 1 whole year, at least around 10 months ahead of you after their last prelims. You have done your effort, you have put in your efforts, and ultimately it does matter. Ultimately, it will come to your rescue. So trust in that process, trust in what the kind of work you've done, and please, when you go into that exam hall, go with a fresh mind. I know it's very easy to say. So like what I used to do, this is like a very, very stupid thing. Maybe some will feel like this is like a, escapism or anything. So I am someone who have always felt that, fake it till you make it is a very effective concept. So whenever I used to feel this whole pressure of 5 lakh people writing this exam, 10,000 people coming out, I used to bring that number down to my classroom. So when I went into a classroom, tomorrow when you're going, on 5th when you're going to the classroom, you'll all find this the same. In your classroom, there'll be around 24 seats. If the class is bigger, maybe 48, like that. And in the classroom, a few won't be coming. So around 20 people will be there, or 21 people will be there. So I used to think, it is a smaller scale. So in these 2 classes, if I score better than all these people around me, I'll be okay. So that's a smaller target to achieve than when comparing to 5 lakh people around me. I don't know how many of this makes sense to how many of you, But that really helped me, and I used to look at people's faces. Okay, people who are coming into that room, to my room, look at what they're doing, observe what kind of things they're involved in, so as to take my mind off the whole idea of the kind of what will happen if I don't get through this exam. So exam was a secondary thing. I'm going to write this exam. What happens is beyond me, beyond my control, and let what will happen will happen. Okay, but let's focus on, you just have to be better than these many people. So I used to do this all the time, not just in prelims, also in mains. When it comes to mains, I'll just consider it as 10 people, 5 people in front of me and 5 people behind me. I'll just look at them. I'll be like, okay, I just want to get better than these people. I'm okay. So these are small techniques. Maybe it will work for you, or maybe something else may work for you. But always focus on trying to reduce the kind of pressure you're facing, and always try to see this exam as an opportunity, and to see what you are capable of writing. Okay, even if you have scored not very well in your exams, in your academies, you all have given mock tests, you all have given maybe hundreds of mock tests, maybe you didn't come as well as you want to be, but UPSC is a new day, and UPSC exam is a new exam. And I've seen a lot of people making the mistake that they are so afraid they're not able to answer even the basic questions. So please don't do that. Make sure you whatever works out for you. Okay, take long breaths, get your own water. Make sure you are there. If you want to take somebody with you who you trust, who you believe, go with them. So they'll be staying outside, so you may feel better about it. So do whatever techniques you want to, but make sure you are feeling comfortable and confident in that room when you get in there. And like the previous day, please try to relax. Please try to not overdo things. Try to let yourself go. Try to feel good. I used to go out on that day, go eat something from outside, come back, relax, and all those things, so that we'll be okay. Our body will be like ready to do it the next day. All right, and try to sleep properly. I know these are very small things, but please try to do these things. So I'll get into the the stuff I think they were expecting of me. First of all, I want to, in the next 3 days, what we'll focus on. Okay. So usually what happens is that I've seen this happen to a lot of very good aspirants. What they do is that they just analyze the last year or the previous year question papers, and they just decide that these are the areas that are important. I'm not saying about the core areas like polity, history. These are very important. These will come every year. I'm saying that, for example, last year there were 4 questions on sports. For those who wrote the exam or those who have seen the question paper will know this. So these people, what they will do is they'll look at this. Oh, there are 4 questions on sports. This time I'm going to read sports on the last 2 days. Please don't do this mistake. I'm not saying that they won't ask you sports. They may ask you 8 questions in sports. But the point is that UPSC doesn't follow such a pattern. UPSC has never shown such a pattern that, because last year we asked so and so, we'll ask this year so and so. Okay, you do the previous year question papers, everybody will advise you to. Why? Because you should be used to the UPSC's ways of question, how they structure the question, how they structure the sentences, how their questions come out to be, what kind of pressure you're going to face there, but not to judge what the UPSC is going to do then. Trust me, the more you try to do that, the more you'll be moving out of your focus area, that is to prepare for this exam. Okay, don't think about what UPSC is going to do, just focus on what you are studying. Okay, and try to revise whatever you have fixed till now. You all might have a timetable, and you all might have a plan for the next 3 days. If you don't have any plan, okay, this is only for people who don't have any plans, stick to the basics. Like work on your polity, work on your history, work on all those things which actually will come every year, and you're going to score there. All right, and don't just go around reading random modules, random capsules. There'll be hundreds of capsules out there. If you go to some UPSC wala website where you get PDFs for free, you'll get 100 capsule right now, saying that 1,000 questions for this UPSC prelims. Please don't do that at this point of time. Focus on your basics, and if you have already a plan, stick to the plan. Trust your plan. If you don't have a plan, stick to the basics. Do the basic things and trust your guts, trust your instincts, and go there. All right. Now, another very important thing, this is also something not exactly, in terms of the questions, but another thing which usually happens to people is to guess the cutoff in the exam hall. Okay, so there are people who come into the exam hall, they'll be like, this paper is so easy. The paper is going to, the cutoff is going to be 105 or 110. I have to write more. Or there'll be people like, this is very tough, I shouldn't write more, I'll write less. please don't judge the question paper during the examination. You have ton of time to do that after the exam. Trust me, when you come out of the exam hall after those are writing for the first time, after your CSAT exam, when you come out, you'll get at least 3 keys in your hand. There'll be academy people standing out giving you the keys of the morning paper. And you can judge it all throughout. Maybe take 1 week to judge your paper, not in the exam. Please don't do it in the exam hall. In the exam hall, you focus on what you know, write what you know, and come out. Okay. Now, in this also, I want to speak more. I'll come to that. But the point is that if you start judging and if you decide your number of attempts based on, I'm not saying not to evaluate the question paper. Evaluate the question paper, but not like in a way that, the cutoff will be so and so I will do this. That usually backfires on you. Now I'll come to a very important area, which has been an issue for everybody, especially for those who are writing this for the first time. Please consider this very importantly. Like I've been giving attempts from 2017. So 17, 18, 19 I skipped, 20 I gave, and 21 I wrote. So 4 attempts prelims I gave. And in 17 attempt, I had almost half an hour left after my GS exam. Second year, the time came down, and in 2021, I just finished the paper. I just finished the paper and came out. So even not just me, everybody who I know have been facing this issue that time is getting limited. Now, my evaluation of this is that UPSC usually in earlier times used to ask questions like 2 statements. There will be 2 statements. There will be options like option A, option B, 1 and 2, none of the, neither 1, neither 2. So these were the options and 2 statements. Now UPSC is not giving those kind of questions that much. This type of question used to dominate. Like around 10, 15 questions maybe used to come in that type. Now, instead of 2 statements, UPSC is giving 4 statements, 5 statements randomly. So to read those many statements, to understand those many statements, to analyze and to choose the options below, it takes a long amount of time. So time management is very important. What I mean by time management is that we all have different amount of speed, and you can't improve your speed beyond a point at this point of time. I'm not asking you to improve your speed like, all of a sudden one day. What I'm trying to tell you is that what you can do is that you make sure that you don't get stuck in questions. Okay. By this is easy said, but my thumb of rule usually is that I'll always carry a watch. Please carry your watch. Please carry, what I used to do is I used to carry both watches, like an analog watch and a digital watch, because digital is more precise. And for me, when I see the numbers moving, I feel more connected to the watch rather than the, this moving. I mean, this may be my issue, but if they allow a digital watch, I used to use a digital watch. Otherwise, I'll use an analog watch. Either ways, don't spend more than a minute on a question, even if the question seems to be very easy, very doable. If you are stuck more than 30 seconds, you please note that this is getting stuck. Just always, usually UPSC says not to mark in the questionnaire, but nobody stops you from doing that unless you are cheating there and you don't have time to do that. So basically, you can just mark. Okay, if there's a question, if there are 5 statements, you have no idea about 2-3 statements, but 2 statements you know, and these 2 are wrong or these 2 are right. Just mark. Just you have your own like markings, and make sure you know that. You don't make it on there. You make sure you plan this before. So I used to put round in options which I know, and I used to put a tick inside in which I know it is right. So if I do that, I was very sure that second round when I come back to that question, I didn't have to think again. I didn't have to read that statement again, because I was very sure. That's why I put a round and a tick. If I put a round and a cross inside, it means that question I know, statement I know for sure, and it's a wrong one. If I don't know, if I'm doubtful, even if I'm a little bit doubtful, I won't do that. So this actually saved a lot of time for me. So in the sense that even if I'm not able to do that question at that point of time, even if I'm able to do only 2 statements at that point of time, when I come back for a second time, I don't have to go through this 5 statements again, right? I don't have to spend another 1 minute doing the same 2 statements again. So you formulate your own way of marking these things so as to save your time. You can always double check it later on, but if you have time. But in case most probably you guys won't get time, I think UPSC is tightening the questions, putting in more longer statements and stuff. And so please take care of this time management thing. Move on, just mark the question, move on, and come back. Always come back. Please don't get stuck over there in a question. I think this is something you all know, but we all will forget at this point of time. But And an extra thing is that you mark the statements you believe is right or wrong in a specific way so that you don't have to read that again. Okay, you reduce your effort. Okay, please make sure of that. And suppose in the options, and this is also another thing I want to say. See, prelims is a place where your answer is right there. Okay, and please use this. How do you use this is that in many questions, you don't even have to read all the statements to get the answer. So always read the question with the options and try to connect each time you have something. So for example, suppose you find a statement wrong, just look below if there is an option where this option is not there, or if that option is given. So if that option is there and you're sure that that statement is wrong, you can just mark that option wrong. Now you already have one less option over there. You have 3 to cover. So this will help you in doing it. We all know this, but what happens is half the time we'll read all the statements, then come down, then check again. So these are a few things you can do to save time, and this really will help you. I mean, these will be a few seconds, maybe 5 seconds, but when it comes to so many questions, like hundreds of questions, your brain will get tired. By the second round, when you come back there, your brain won't be as efficient as the first time. So maybe you'll have a fresh look at it, but at the same time, maybe the very simple things you might forget. So try to make sure that you do these small things so that your speed is up to mark. Regarding a watch, this is another very important thing. Again, time management may always have a watch, and please have an idea when you are going to complete your first round, second round, and maybe third round if possible. So what happened in 2020 attempt is that I was not really giving a lot of focus on the time. I thought that I have enough time, so I always had this feeling that I'll have enough time, so I will never face time crunch. What happened is that after 1 hour and 40 minutes, I just checked my at that point of time, I just covered 76 questions. Mark was marked, and it was just 20 minutes away, and I haven't even read the last 10 questions or something. So I left so many questions, like just I saw the heading, I just left it. So I was in a panic mode, and I knew I have to be fast, and I did it. I did it so fast that I marked like 99 that time. It worked well in my favor. Luckily, it was okay. Whatever I marked, whatever I guessed over there, it came right. But it could have gone the south the same way. So please make sure that you keep track of your time as well. Okay, this is not a big point, but most of us forget this, and at the end we'll make a lot of mistakes in the process. Now, another thing which I should have said first: don't forget the basics, like the printout of your admit card, ID card. Please don't forget. Water, black pen. And please don't panic. One of my friends, I've seen him panic at the last moment, and somebody who lost out on it's very that energy at that last moment. He could come in and he could write the exam, but that you don't want that unnecessary panic at that point of time. And for that matter, for people who are not very confident about CSAT, please find a place to eat lunch as well. Okay, or take your lunch with you. Don't run around after exam trying to find. These are very small things. You might think that this is very silly, but at that point of time you may be in a for us, I wrote my one prelims in Bangalore, so it was very difficult to find a place to eat. In Kerala will be easier, but still make sure that you know what you're going to do after your exam. Now, a few points about CSAT. Like, I was a person who was very comfortable in CSAT, so I don't have a lot to comment on it. But even especially for those people who believe that they're okay, especially those engineers, and I think that out of this 74 odd people, almost 70%, 80% will be engineers. So for you people, especially, even if you feel that you are very good at CSAT, in the next 2-3 days, just make sure that you go through the formulas at least. Okay, there are you will get PDFs very easily, like 25, 30 pages, 50 pages wala. That small PDFs with all the formulas there. Just go through it. Okay. Kya hota hai ki sometimes you may not even know how much time you waste in a very small question. So one thing what happened is there was a question on compound interest, and I was like, compound interest we have learned from maybe 9th or 10th, and maybe even before that, I'm not sure. So I was like, I didn't read any of those formulas. I just went there, and for a compound interest wala question, I was stuck there for 3-4 minutes. But the thing is that you don't have to do that. And sometimes when the question paper is tougher than you expect it to be, sometimes suppose the English goes all wrong, suppose you're not able to do as well as you thought, then why take the risk? Okay, CSAT is a paper which you can easily clear for those people who are strong in it. So make sure that you spend some time the next 2-3 days, whenever you feel tired, whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, whenever you're feeling those tensions, just take those and you'll feel confident also. Okay, there's one paper I can do well, right? Just take some formula book and just read those things. Just see that you know these things, permutation combinations, these compound interest, similar interest, vara formulas, all those formulas and basic things. Do a few not the quantitative part you do, and learn the formulas, and for the other part as well, logic part as well, do a few questions how to do. There will be some techniques as well. So just learn a few basic things so that don't spend too much time, maximum 1 hour a day, but that'll give you a lot of confidence. And after the prelims, you'll be very relaxed. So you can take out your time. You can do that in between prelims and mains as well. Prelims and the GS and CSAT as well. But make sure you do a bit of reading. Okay, don't just leave it at that. Okay, and yeah, that's the next point. Now coming to the thing that we all, the magic, what do you call it? The magic wand or the magic potion to eliminate things. There's nothing of that sort. There are few things that you can look at in the question paper to help you eliminate a few options. But do this only after you are sure that nothing else works over there. So suppose you have any idea with your question, please go ahead with that. Don't apply these things first, okay? Because these can backfire, and these have backfired. Whatever I'm going to say, these are all from ideas from seniors and other people, not my ideas per se, but we all heard it at some point of time. I've been using this for a long time. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, but see, the point is that even if one question works, I'll come to that point again. One question goes right and 3 questions of your guesswork goes wrong, you're still not losing anything. You're still having a neutral thing. What happening? The 2 marks you'll get, 2 marks will go. So like usually the few things that we say is that extreme statements, I think you all know this. So extreme statements can be wrong. Okay, there's a good chance that extreme statements are wrong. So the idea is that which a lot of friends used to tell us, seniors used to tell us, is that it's very difficult to construct a wrong statement. When you construct a wrong statement, you always start from a right statement. So it's very difficult to construct one. So you can use that to your advantage. So extreme statements are usually given in situations where not at all, or absolutely sure, absolutely the only way. Those kind of things can be wrong in most of the cases. Okay, so in case if you have a few questions where you have no other way to do it, you can try and see this. Extreme statements can be wrong. That can be wrong. Next thing is that specific values. Now I've seen this backfire a lot of times, so I don't vouch for this. But if you have no other option, if you have no other way, and if you really have to write this question, you really want to take that risk and write that question. Usually the specific values, I'm not saying that ballpark values are okay, but very specific values can be wrong. Okay, if they are saying that suppose the temperature, the point, this value should be maintained, most probably that will be wrong. Okay, suppose there in science may both are questions, there are many questions that comes. So there they may it's usually a range, so it may not be a specific value. So those kind of very specific values, very specific things, maybe there's a very good chance that can again you should listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying it will be wrong, it is wrong, but it can be wrong. So you can use a few of these things. Now another very important thing is things that are too good to be true. Okay, this you'll find everywhere. So there'll be a statement like so for example, there'll be suppose they'll be writing about a scheme, and in that scheme they'll write like the 300 or the 3,000 crore for this project was given grant in aid by Japan to India. Okay, now see, put some level of logic into it. Like nobody will ever give you money like that, right? So it's always it's too good to be true. So if something is too good to be true, you can assume that that can be wrong. Okay, so but always use this at the last. What I'm trying to say is that how this backfires mostly in these kind of things is that I'll say a few more things. How this backfires is that suppose a person doesn't know any of the 4, suppose 3 statements are there, you don't know any 3 statements, and you're trying to do the first level of elimination based on this. It's a very high chance that you might make mistakes. Okay, but then at the end, if you don't have no other option, you can go for it. But usually this helps when you already have an idea and you just have to eliminate between 2, 1 or 2, 50-50 ho gaya. So then from there you want to choose between one of them. Then you can use this idea to push a bit more. Like there are in history we usually say things like difficult to verify facts are usually right. Okay. What I mean by that is, now this has also backfired, but this can work in most cases. So suppose they say that, example, suppose there's a question about Parshiraja. So, and there's a statement that saying that the tribals also used to give like some part of their revenue to the king. Okay. Now, this statement, it is very difficult to refute the statement. And for people who are setting up the questions, it is very difficult to find a fact from a book that, this is wrong. Okay. So in these cases, these kind of very generalistic things, these kind of things that you can identify in history questions, especially history questions. Okay. That, it is very difficult to prove this wrong. Okay. So in those cases, mostly this will be right. Okay. You can assume in most cases that this is right. Again, as a last resort. Okay. Now, these are a few things I just want to convey. I mean, like a few elimination techniques. To be honest, now there's nothing like specific elimination techniques that that you can say out loud that helps anybody. Okay, we all go with our guides. Okay, we all have been preparing for a long time. For people who have been preparing for more than one attempt, you have been preparing for a long time now, and you have all seen a lot of other things. So you don't have to know everything to answer the other part. You can always use your knowledge from other part to eliminate one option, at least two options. And if that comes, you can always go for the answer. So that is the basic idea, but these are some ideas that usually works. And even for UPSC, those people who set question papers, they're also human beings. So these are some ideas which came out over the years. I've read it in different places, maybe discussed with a few people. So you can also try these out in case you are stuck somewhere. All right. Now, I'm coming to a very important point here. This is maybe the most important part I want to talk to you guys about. See, this is my personal assessment of prelims, and I don't ask any one of you to follow this, but if it works for you, you please follow this. If you don't believe, you feel like this is not right, you please don't follow it. That's it. I am a person who personally believes that if person doesn't get out of prelims or get eliminated from prelims because of his negatives. What I'm trying to say is that, suppose, imagine you are writing 100 out of 100 questions. Okay. You get 70 questions right. Even if your 30 questions are wrong, you'll still end up with 120 marks, right? 30 questions are wrong, that comes to 20 marks. That will be eliminated from your 140. You'll get 120 marks. That is 60 questions right, equal to that. Still you'll get, you'll get both, you'll clear both civils and forest. What I'm trying to say is that it's a misnomer, according to me, that you fail because of your negatives. You don't fail because you get negatives. You fail because you don't have enough positives. You don't have enough right questions. So suppose you are a person, I've always been a person who writes more than 95 questions. Okay. I won't educate that to everybody, but those people who are still stuck at 60s, 70s, 80s, I know you still feel a few of you may be stuck over there, those kind of questions, those numbers. Please try to push yourself to a few more questions. Okay. It is true that 87 marks looks like 44 you need to be right, but you'll always make mistakes. Okay. So even 50 is not enough. Okay. You should at least get 60 questions right. So if you're a normal aspirant, if you're a normal, decent, brain wala, somebody who can understand, but not like, crazy good, like all of us, you will make mistakes. So if you want to get 60 right, you should at least write 20 more. Okay, at least go to 80 or 80 more. Okay. And suppose, and then you'll ask me, how do I go to 80 plus? I'm not even getting that close. There you use all the elimination techniques, all the kind of things you have learned over the time. Okay, you try to find out what things may be wrong. This doesn't work logically. This doesn't sound logically right. And thus you try to eliminate and you try to come to answers. And when I say that you have to write more, I would advise you, especially for the first timers, if you ever come across a question where you can confidently eliminate two options, don't ever come out of that exam hall without writing that answer. Okay, I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Like, if you can eliminate two options, you should write that answer. Okay, why I'm saying this? Because, see, if you have eliminated two options for sure, you have a 50-50% chance of getting that question right. And suppose you're writing 4 questions, and out of that 50% chance you take, even if 2 of your questions are right and 2 of your questions are wrong, you're still much ahead of people. You got 4 marks right and 1.33 marks wrong. You're still much ahead of other people, right? So please don't skip those questions where you can eliminate 50-50. Please keep on writing those questions and try to maximize your attempts as much as possible. Okay. Having said that, always have an idea of how much you have scored in this paper. Again, I told you not to judge the cutoff, but judge the paper as well. So in this case, suppose you are finding the question paper to be too tough. Maybe it's too tough for everybody. So in that case, you don't have to go to 95 or 99, but you can always try to maximize your attempts. And please make sure you do give enough attempts, enough number of questions, and make sure that you reach to that level where you can confidently get enough marks, questions right. Okay. And more often than not, you'll get those questions more, you'll get benefit out of the the guesswork you've done. So some people find it very difficult to guess more. Okay, how do I write more? You'll have that issue. So what I used to do is that after completing all my done, if I have 5 more minutes, what I'll do is that I'll just take 4 questions where I'm kind of feeling like I know the answers. These 4 questions as a block I'll answer. So my idea is that even if that I get one of them right, even if the other 3 are wrong, I'm okay. So that gives my mind a piece of myself a peace of mind, and I'm able to think forward. I'm able to feel like, okay, I'm not doing anything, I'm not destroying my chances at this examination. So you can do those things which help you calm down. So everything, if you have listened to what I've been saying, all of these things are focused on yourself. And please, there's nothing you can do to UPSC or nothing you can do to the questions. Or everything you can do is to yourself only. So at this point, I think I'll stop here. If there are any questions, any queries, I'll try to answer. I don't know if you have any queries or not, but still I try to answer. And I hope at least the first time aspirants got something out of it. I didn't say anything big. I know that I just said whatever I knew from my experience. Yeah, so over to you people.
If anybody have doubts, you can ask right now. We will be happy to help you.
So when should we start marking the OMR? Should we mark in the first go or should we start in the second go?
Please go with the paper. Okay. What happens is that mostly, I mean, this is like a common mistake. What happens is that you'll think that you can mark it later on, but when you come back, there's a good chance that you'll mark a wrong answer. And sometimes you won't even realize it. So 21K, instead of 21, you'll mark from 22 and you'll continue marking 10 questions. Then you'll start realizing that you marked the entire thing wrong. Okay. So if you know the answer, if you have eliminated enough and if you come to an answer, please mark it over there. For those questions that are doubtful, please mark on the question paper and move ahead. But don't wait for the end of the question paper to mark. You will be panicking and you will make mistakes for sure. If you have been practicing that same thing till now also, please change. Please make sure that you do the answers. If whatever you're sure about, okay, please keep on marking as you're going so that you'll have an idea. Even when you're coming back also, in between, you can find those questions. But when you're marking 10 together and you're starting some randomly from 23 or 35, there's a good chance that you'll make a mistake. Okay, and we don't have time for that.
Hi, Suraj.
Yeah, hi.
Suraj, what do you do for a question for which you have eliminated only one option or no option at all?
Sorry, I forgot to tell this. If there is a statements and you can use all these techniques, or you can use a logic to come to an answer. You can try to do that. But if there's a facts in what I mean is that there was a question last year or the year before that about national parks. So the options were 4 national parks. Some question was there regarding something in a national park, and there were 4 national parks. I didn't even dare to touch it. The thing, about these things. So factual atlas, it can be anything, right? So you are walking into a trap over there. But if it is a statement, if you have eliminated one of them and you can try to do it, you can try and attempt it if you are confident enough. Okay, if you want to attempt one extra. But if it is a factual one, I would not suggest you to do it. Please stay away from it, because your instinct will not work over there. I mean, most probably your instinct will be wrong. And even if it is right, you will not know. Okay. So that's my strategy of doing it.
Okay. If you do not have any doubts, we'll wind up, right?
Yeah,
Seriously?
these are people who are actually preparing very seriously. So
Yeah.
all the best for you people. Just be just calm down. Having cleared the exam, 2 times and been in 2 different services, I can confidently tell you that this is a good place to be in. Okay, it's not like I'm not saying it's not worth it. It's definitely worth it coming into the service to be a part of the service. But it is an exam, okay, and it's not a test of anything else. You'll have a lot of pressure on your family, friends, everybody. But please don't let that in your head on that day. On 5th June, it's all about you and your paper. Just go there and do that very confidently. You are enough. And no matter how you have performed in your academies and all those places, it doesn't matter. Okay, over there, it's a whole different ball game, whole different exam, a new day. You can do it. So please feel that confidence and go there. Please feel calm. Do whatever it is needed to make yourself feel calm. The more calm you are, the more sensible you will be. And prelims is all about that logic. Prelims is all, I think you would have understood. Everything I was talking about is all about, common sense. Something you can, if you understand, if you are in a calm mind. Once you're panicking, none of you will get it. So, and it's very possible. It's just an elimination round. It is not a round that decides your marks or anything. You just have to get the cutoff. It doesn't matter if somebody gets 190. Okay, don't panic from looking at the people around you. They may be much better than you. That's okay. Let them score 180, 170. That's okay. You don't have to worry about it. You just have to clear the cutoff. 87.5 last time. This time, I don't know what will be the cutoff. So whatever the cutoff is, you just have to clear it. That's it. Nothing else. And you're in. And next, you have one more day to fight. So please focus on that and just take it in that sense. Go there with an open mind, and I hope you all do very well.
Okay, this was actually a wonderful section by Sooraj. So whatever he has told you, like the elimination technique or how to be calm, all these things, I think he's actually done it because he also, like before he already talked to me all these things, and so try to practice all such things in examination also. So it's all about how you keep your calmness. It's not about the game of how much information you hold and all. So whatever he advise you, please try to like use it. Means use it as far as possible. So personally, I take this opportunity to thank Sooraj from part of Civils360 IAS Academy, as well as from part of the aspirant community. It was really, really wonderful section, and I hope this will help all the aspirants community came here. So thank you, Sooraj, for finding time to share with us. It was very enlightenmentful for us. Thank you so much, and thank you. Also thank the students who like take their part of time to invest and come here. I really thank you guys, and I wish all the very best for your success and for the examination. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for listening to me.